everybody, welcome to Pickers Church. And if you've noticed, we are on Ronnie's channel today. So he finally got it going. Make sure you come back every Sunday this time on Ronnie's channel, which is Hearts Pickers. We're officially moved it over to his channel. So we appreciate Ronnie taking the responsibility of hosting the show. And Square dropped out on us. So he should be making his way back in. Today, we're going to be talking about you are the reason you fail. Or that's kind of a little catchy thing. You know, it's like fail. But you are responsible for your own success is what it ultimately comes down to. Ronnie, what do you think about this? You are the reason you fail.
I think the biggest thing probably most people get, it's work, and a lot of people get confused that they think it's kind of like, I don't know, they just think the money's going to be there. Like you list something, it's automatically going to sell, and they don't understand the whole research thing when it comes into things. Everybody wants the easy way, and when they see it's not as easy, a lot of people kind of get scared off a little bit. It's hard work. It takes time to build inventory. It's not something that happens overnight and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's like a multitude of 1,000 things. There's so many. I don't know how to say this without being like politically incorrect, but there's so many people out there looking for reasons or somebody to blame for their failings, or why this isn't working right for them, or why this happened to them, or why they got this return. They always want somebody to blame. And I think if you can learn how to deal with that, to roll with it, you'll be okay. But without a doubt, having that mentality you're going to end up failing. You're going to crash and burn. If it's always about what other people are doing or how they're affecting you or what, just that negativity. When we say negativity, it's the mentality. I've got people on my Facebook that I see, the only posts they make, it's just always negative. Like, oh, I feel bad today. Or, it's just, is this ever going to end? Stuff like that. And it's change your mindset.
I deleted a bunch of people for that reason. And I got some shit for it, but it's like, never talked to you. I don't have no idea who you really was. So who cares?
Yeah. Well, and I think that, I know we had this conversation with Square before the show, and, I was talking about how, Facebook or YouTube can bring you down, and, we call it a time suck, but I think it's with me. And I know you see this with me, Ronnie, and especially I see it with Dusty also. You get emotional. And when I'm dealing with drama or I'm dealing with something that isn't positive, it drags me down. And therefore, I'm not being productive in my business. And whose fault is that all? Do I sit and blame the people, that are stirring shit up or makes a rude comment on a Facebook post and I feel the need to step up and, like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's feeding into it, but ultimately it's my responsibility. It's my fault if I let it get to me enough to where it affects my business. Does anybody in the comments have any ideas on that? Go ahead, Ronnie.
I think just too many people let things bother them about things that you have no control over. Like, people on here, you bitch and moan about certain things or certain people. Don't like what that guy did or this or that. In real life, majority of us don't meet each other. People turn on each other in a flip of a dime. Just, people are very finicky on here, and it's I think people get caught up too much in drama, and a lot of time there's not even drama. People just trying to stir up something for no reason. So you just keep it moving and move on. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, I think. Hey, Square's back. How's it going, brother?
Thanks for waiting 2 minutes.
We never know when you're gonna make it back. And Ronnie has the button now, so blame Ronnie. It's Ronnie's fault. Your internet sucks.
Sorry I missed your
And
intro.
that's what we're talking about. It's like, um, who's to blame for issues you have in your business ultimately?
Ronnie.
That's funny. What do you got to say on this topic, Square?
Well, we were talking about it, how to formulate this so it's a positive message and not so negative. Being that the three cranky guys are on, but it's really like what we were talking earlier about keeping your eye on the brass ring, right? And
Now, what do you mean by that? What is this brass ring?
okay, well, it's an old saying from when you ride on a carousel, the carousel with the horses that go up and down, stuff like that. If you've ever noticed, there's a brass ring that they lower down like once or twice, whatever, during the ride. And if you grab the brass
Really? uh, Ronnie, do you know how to finish that?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I think when you're riding around and they've got this brass ring hanging, if you grab the brass ring as you're going around, you win another free ride, I think. So it's called keeping your eye on the brass ring, keeping your eye on the prize.
I'm not good with those things, those
Yeah.
analogies. Could ask my old coworkers. I try to make points all the time, and people would stare at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, I just got a message from Square. He's a little upset. So, when it comes down to, your business and contributing factors that knock you down. And I think that's a really big, so many people we see, they get knocked down and they just can't get up. They don't want to get up. They waller in there, and it bleeds. It really bleeds. And you'll see that a lot of times, Ronnie, I know I myself, I won't like posting like we have the reseller society and we love the people. I love the people in there, but there are just some people that just are so negative all the time. They do nothing but challenge you, or we do these videos and these shows, and there's always somebody out there that'll like we did the RSS feed, and somebody made a comment, I can't believe that guy doesn't know what RSS feed is, and he's old school. It's just that the things that are said to you that could bring you down if you let that weigh on you too much, with anything, with Facebook, with YouTube, with rude customers, with anything, like with eBay siding with a buyer, anything like that can bring you down. It's going to, and it'll keep you down because there's a lot of negative things that happen in business. It's how you deal with it that'll, you can rise to the top. I try to be positive. If you see Ronnie, you see myself, you see us out, you see us on camera, we're happy people. We like what we do. We enjoy life. And, but there's times, and I'm one of them, I let it get to me sometimes, and it puts me in a bad mood. And when I'm in a bad mood, I don't get anything accomplished.
I am like Mr. I don't stress over nothing. My wife will joke around that almost nothing gets me stressed about anything. I just don't let anything bother me too much. I mean, I'll be bothered if someone says something. It's like you gotta make a big think about it, and then it's like you really actuality. You look back and you're like, I'm not gonna let it worry about it. It's certain different things. I mean, you can, I just love the people that post in multiple groups their problem they had with a buyer, and it's like shaking my head because you're losing, sight of the brass ring. Stop worrying about being negative and worrying about posting this in different groups, and wanting everybody to feel sorry for somebody. It's like, and half the time it's not even an issue. It's like, oh, somebody wants a return after 2 weeks. What should I do? Just take the return and move on. Why are you going to waste 3 hours of your day, answering different people and joking around back and forth about buys and returns? I mean, would you buy something from Walmart if you couldn't return it? I mean, it doesn't matter if you put no return or not. It's eBay now. You play eBay's game. No matter what, you don't take a return, where they're going to open a credit card dispute. I mean, there's different ways. They'll get their money back.
And I mean, nobody really even knows this because you just let it slide off your back. You just got a several $100 return, or you had one.
I got 2 of them right now. I had that boat come back, returned $262, but I had to eat the shipping, which it bothered me. So I got to call eBay and actually talk to them about that tomorrow, because they opened it for one reason. Then when they escalated it, they kind of said it was item not as described. When they originally said it was, they changed their mind after it was shipped and it was still in transit, that they opened a thing. So, I mean, I got it back and I sold it today. I mean, so it's nothing. I mean, what sells once will sell again. I got another return coming now for $191 sport coat. It happens, and guess what? That sport coat will sell again for same amount of price, and I'll move on. I'll be a happy boy. I mean, what are you going to do about it? It's not much.
Well, and I think this is a good example of what a lot of people are going through. Okay, they have this return. Okay, but we have said 1,000 freaking times to people, if you sell a $250 item, keep the money there in case where they get freaked out and where they screw up is they pull that money out immediately and they spend it. And then when the return time comes, they're like, shit, I don't have any money. And once again, you are what will make yourself fail. It's your actions in your business. It's good business knowing on these higher dollar items that if money might be an issue, if there's a return, you need to make sure you don't touch it. Like Ronnie said, if it's sold once, it'll sell again.
I mean, that's not even my biggest return. My biggest return, I think, was like $380, and Rudy had like a $500 return. And if I remember right, Kevin Duccio, whatever, Thrifting Lounge boy, didn't he have like a return for like $700? It's like, oh my Lord, that is a big boy return right there.
Well, you see, nobody even knows about this. I mean, this is one of these ones I could go to the Facebook group and I could post it and everything else. Remember the awesome Sony receiver that I got? I mean, the beautiful, the nice, I got it at that flea market. I'd sold it. And I got because I have no house of returns, I just got a thing saying that it's being returned and I'm paying return shipping because it's not as described. So what you can do, guys, and this is what I did, I didn't stress out. I didn't freak out because I knew this thing was good. I mean, it was fully tested and it worked really good. And I sent him a message, a polite message, like, oh, yeah, no problem. I noticed you said that, because in the thing it said that it had trouble getting stations in on stereo. And I'm like, what? It's a receiver, man. I said, I know this is a stupid question, but did you have an antenna attached to it? He goes, well, I do live out in the country, and it just, the knob, when I'm getting a station, it just doesn't want to get the station in too well. And I know these are high-end, rare stuff, but I have a cheaper model that just performs better. I'm like, oh, yeah, I hear you, and it's just crazy how some of these higher-end models can command a certain price, and yet the lower-end models actually are much better quality and sound much better. And he's like, oh, yeah. So now what I'm going to do is take all this information to eBay and say, look, this isn't a not as described. He just didn't think it's the actual model itself is as good as his lower end models. I mean, he changed his mind. He doesn't like the quality of it. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. So, that's stuff you can do instead of me copping an attitude with them and sending them like, I know that was working good. Well, actually, what I did is I just fed it to him, and he responded honestly. I said, okay, so it's not defective or anything. It's just, it's just not the quality you expected. And I think, eBay will take the defect away, for not as described. And I think that, I don't know, I shouldn't be paying return shipping on this thing, which is going to be like $60, I think. So, yeah. But I mean, it's just certain things you can do. Don't stress about it. It will sell again, I have no doubt. There you are, Square.
Yeah, sorry about that. If I cut in and out, I thought I had.
No biggie, no biggie. You have any thoughts? I know we've been rambling.
Did you figure out what the brass ring was all about?
Something about if you got the ring,
Yeah, okay. Okay. If you want me to finish that thought, I don't know if you guys finished it. So, anyways, it's about grabbing the brass ring because you used to be able to get a free ride out of it if you did. And so it's basically going for the brass ring is like going for success, it's winning, it's trying to win, not in a Charlie Sheen kind of way, but like genuinely, going for it all you can, and it's kind of like my shirt today, ball every day, it's like
Yeah.
you gotta. I just had to keep this because it had a spot on it, so I cut off the sleeves and I'm keeping it. But it's a Nike shirt, but and one which I would never buy again, by the way. But the whole thing is like one thing that I've been trying, like that's really opened my eyes since becoming a full timer, and Ronnie and I were talking about this earlier. Is like you constantly have to be changing your game because, for instance, I'm selling a lot of clothes now, and I used to sell a lot of clothes, but I kind of got out of it for a reason. And now I'm back because I have to. But boy, the game changes. Like if you're relying on a book, man, you're just 20 steps behind right now. You really, really are. If you're not constantly updating the Rolodex in your head and watching the views on what people are looking at that you're selling versus what people are saying in haul videos that they're getting and stuff like that, it's just for me, it's 180 degrees in some places. I mean, unless you want to sit on your product. Brands change, and you have to just constantly be researching and trying to get better at what you're doing, because it's pretty cutthroat out there. There's a lot of people out there doing this now, a lot. You see them all the time, and if you're not trying to be better at your game every single day and letting the distractions not get in the way, like that's something that we always talk about is like the Facebook and the YouTube and stuff like that. It's like when that stuff starts getting in the way of work and making money, then you got to kind of change your priorities up a little bit.
Yeah, Louis the Seller, he does have a good point here, and he says, I think people who complain in the groups do so because they need to vent among like-minded people rather than take their frustrations out on family members who can't quite relate. I understand that, I really do, but I think, and I'm not totally against it, what I'm talking about is you can be a positive person and have an experience and post it, and people can learn from it, and you can vent your frustrations, but do you see the difference I'm talking about, where there's absolutely nothing that can be accomplished of it. It just continues to go, and then negative tough stuff starts, and the next thing you know, it's nothing but malarkey and a time suck. I posted the video about being scammed, and it's not that I wanted, sympathy or attention or anything like that. It was just my experience, and you can tell in the video that it bothered more people that I didn't push the issue as hard as they would have. It's just really strange how your actions, are your actions, and there's so many opinions out there.
You have to kind of let things roll off your back a little bit.
Yeah, and you can give people good advice, on how to handle a negative situation, and it goes in one ear and out the other. It's they just want to hear themselves talk or speak or complain, and those are the ones I'm talking about. I don't even really respond to them anymore. Now, if somebody's asking a question, look, I had this return and I think it's kind of screwed up. What do you think, or how can I go about this? I mean, people will jump in and help and stuff like that. And I don't think that's being negative. I think you're trying to learn how to deal with a negative situation. But I think everybody knows what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the negative aspect of these
Yeah,
groups.
I think you're right. There's a certain amount of questions that people ask in especially in reseller groups. And Louis right. People just like to vent sometimes, but a lot of people ask almost rhetorical questions. It's like, what do I do with this jerk? And it's just, well, you are already taking the wrong approach.
Yeah.
It's like, and they don't really want the answers sometimes. They just want everybody to agree with them. And there's, sometimes you do have to get that stuff off your chest. There aren't a lot of people to talk to. I think Louis has a point.
Yeah, and Bama Z-Man says there's always a way to talk about a return without making yourself a helpless victim.
Yeah.
That really is a good statement. It's out of something negative, be positive. It sucks. We know it sucks, but be positive about it. Ronnie's like, yeah, another effing return. Oh well, and it's like it just rolls off. It is what it is.
I mean, luckily I've never been scammed by anybody that I can think of. Usually I just get my thing back, it doesn't fit, or, that's probably the biggest thing. You sell clothing. I mean, probably one of the things I love about selling clothing is throw it in a freaking polymetal. It's not going to break. Nothing's going to happen.
Mm.
And every once in a while it comes back and it doesn't fit. I mean, I bought some stuff off of eBay. It doesn't fit. Guess what? Most likely it still sits in my closet because a lot of resellers or a lot of eBay sellers, they make it very hard to make a return. I want pictures. It's like I just want to return it. And it's like they want to make you jump through hoops to return something. I'm just going to give you a negative feedback. It's not worth my time. I mean, talking about something that, or it's not worth my time to return it. I buy it cheap enough that it's like, I don't want to return this. Forget it. It's just, I'll resell the damn thing. I don't give a shit.
Well, I think that if you want to get away from this hassle of the negatives when it comes to selling, having a business, and you don't want to deal with returns or customers or, butthead customers or eBay, then just don't do it. Get out of the business because it's going to happen. And if you're negative about it every step of the way and every approach, anything negative that comes against you and your business and you treat it as that, you're going to fail. Ultimately, you're going to fail. You're either going to have a heart attack, you're going to beat your wife, you're going to beat your dog, you're going to beat your kids, you're going to end up going off on a customer, you're going to end up going off on eBay, you're going to end up going off on somebody. We've had to kick people out of Facebook groups for just being stupid, losing control. And it's almost like what it is when you have that mindset of negative, blah, 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 you've lost control. I've done it, so I know.
And sometimes there's stuff you have no control over whatsoever. Remember this week I was at the thrift store and I was venting with you guys because, okay, there was one, I was having a bad day. It wasn't, I wasn't finding a whole lot, but the one home run that I found did not have a tag on it. And the store policy is if it doesn't have a tag on it, they can't sell it to you. So, it was an awesome shirt. And it would have been, made my day pretty much. But what am I going to do? Are you going to just cry over spilled milk all day? No, I handed it to them. I said, doesn't have a price. They're all like, well, the store policy. It's like, yeah, I know. I guess I'll catch it when you guys put it out again. But what are you going to do? You going to steal it? Are you going to steal it, or are you going to give it to them and just go like, oh, well, I hope I find something at the next store? I stole it.
Don't be my family. I'm not saying I've lost control. No, do we have an echo, guys?
Hello.
No, we're not talking.
Well, somebody in the thing says if I had a screen for my mic, then we get rid of the echo, but I didn't know there was an echo. Can you tell us in the chat? Thanks, everybody, for coming. We've got 70 watches right now. That is awesome. If you like what we're talking about today, please take a second and hit that thumbs up. And, you know, if you hate it, hit the thumbs down. It's Ronnie's channel.
Shut up.
No, I'm joking.
People pay good money for those thumbs down. They don't get them for free.
Yeah. And that's another thing, you know. How negative do you have to be to go out and buy, you know, trouble for somebody else? You know, I mean, just rise above that. We don't play that game, and it's just being positive. I mean,
well, if you don't like the show, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Well, they're still learning something. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, are you such a glutton for punishment that you would watch this over and over again if you don't like it? You know?
I don't like Chad's hat.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny. It's like, you know, like, would you consistently watch something you don't like?
Alberto, let me tell you something. This mic isn't cheap, and now you're the only one that says I sound like I'm in a tin room.
Coming from a guy
Thanks, buddy.
Is it the tin room, or is it the aluminum foil around his head?
Yeah. Sound absorption. Okay. I'll work on that.
Alberto's with us every weekend, man.
Yeah.
Good old Alberto. He's old school.
Hey, let's talk about some positivity. How can you stay positive in your business to where you don't let it affect you, to where it doesn't cause you to fail in a certain area?
Well, one thing is you can surround yourself with positive people.
There you go.
You know, I mean, we always say that. It's like we pick each other up on a daily basis by showing cool things we've found. You know, and when I see something that Ronnie or Chad's found or something, I know it's out there for me too. You know, it's not magic. You know, it's not just there's not only stuff in Florida or in Cape Cod. It's all over the place, and it can be found. You just got to spend your time going out there and looking for it, you know. And that does fire me up. I love to see when Chad or those guys score something. It motivates me. You know, it's like, hey, man, what am I doing? I got to get out there and get that stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to say, Dusty is not with us today because he is out at the lake. He bought a new camper, so yeah, he's enjoying his time. He's fishing, so I'm sorry if I sound like I'm in a tin room. Does it sound any different than normal, guys?
No, you do sound like you're in a tin room.
Oh, I bet I have the wrong.
I don't even know what a tin room sounds like.
I don't know.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Sometimes I wish I could crawl inside of this tin room.
Yeah, I think I had my webcam thing on. Does this sound any better? Does this mic? Can you tell?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Sorry about
Just
that.
sounds like you're kind of a long distance away from your mic is all.
Is this better?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you very much.
What the hell is that? A Death Star?
No, it's a blue snowball.
Okay.
Shorty balls. Would you like to try some of my shorty balls?
Kim doesn't even want those.
It's a joke. It's Saturday Night Live, people. Anyway, Ronnie, how do you stay positive besides you just don't care about anything at any time?
I just go about my business and do what I gotta do to survive. I mean, I'm no different than anybody else. I mean, if I'm not staying positive and I ain't moving forward, I'm going back to work in a freaking hot, sweaty kitchen. And let me tell you right now, I don't like hot, sweaty kitchens.
Now I
have sweaty balls.
Yeah, I will say when you were working there, when it was hot outside, you were like, I am so ready to get out of here. I mean, you could tell you've had your fill, and you could tell that was getting under your skin. So we have seen that side of you.
Working for somebody else is just enough to get under your skin. You have no control over nothing. I mean, at least what I do, I have some control. Yeah, I mean, I still sell on eBay, I sell on Amazon. I lose a lot of that control, but at least you have a little more freedom to do what you want. I mean, and a lot of people, it's working for themselves is not made out to be what it is. A lot of people need that paycheck coming in every week and being told what to do because they just can't focus. Okay, Dark Vader. Yeah.
Well, they're making fun of me in the chat, so. And I think we lost Square again. Kim helps me. Kim helps me keep me grounded because she really does. Because if it was up to me, and you know this, Ronnie, I don't publicly vent, but I do vent privately, like to you and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of understand what Louis was saying. Being around like-minded people, you kind of want to be able to vent. And I don't say do it privately, but I do it privately with like Ronnie and Square and them. And Kim really keeps me grounded. She's that person on my shoulder that's like, don't give it 5 more minutes of your time. Man, she is awesome when it comes to that stuff.
You need to listen to her more, actually, probably.
Yeah, I do. I do need to listen to her more. I let things get to me sometimes when it shouldn't, and it does affect my business. I can admit that, and I know Ronnie sees it because I'll go through a period to where I'm not listening, but he knows that there's just something else bothering me, and you just need to rise above that. Dusty, you want to talk to us? You need to come on the show. Quit texting me. Yeah. Now Gretchen, she's pretty calm too. I haven't really ever seen her get riled up.
She laughs about returns in a way. Like she'll be like, another return. But when I tell her, over the last 3 months we've only had 11 returns, she goes, that's not much. I said they come in bunches. I'll get 4 in 1 week and then I don't get one for 5 weeks. It's just so odd how it is. I mean, it's really odd. And you just have no control over it.
Yeah. Oh, all right, Brian. Welcome and thanks for listening to WPKR. Good evening. That's my radio voice. What's WPKR?
Radio station, maybe?
No. WKRP in Cincinnati. No, if you don't mind, I had somebody send me a message today, and I'm going to do a quick screen share. Let me find this. It's really cool. This is the stuff I love, guys. Michael Kilmer, he's the guy that sent me the movie poster, and he sent me a message, and he says, oh, where's it at? Thoughts? Here, let me do a screen share. And I'm like, oh man, that is so cool. Check this out. I mean, is that not, would you not love to have one of those?
Is that an artificial arm or whatever you want?
That is an artificial arm. And it's got the straps to where it can actually run itself. You can I guess move your shoulder and it will actually open up the hand or something like that. And it's got the little claws you can use. And he's in an estate sale, and he said that he had seen that in a closet. He had been it was close to his house, and he'd been there a couple times already. And he went back today, and he found this in the closet behind some suits and stuff. And I'm like, I love that, dude. That's the kind of stuff I absolutely love. And so I'm like, he said they would not come down lower than $60. And for me, my immediate thought is, oh, hell yeah, $60. I would be all over it. And then he sent me, I sent him this picture here showing that one that kind of looks like it, you know, had sold for $250. So I think he would do well, and I think his research showed him also they could go up to $1,000, and his was actually a Dorrance. Those things, man, it's weird, and it's like steampunk. There's all kinds of ways you can it's not like you could wear it, but I mean, there's just all kinds of uses, and it is a collectible item. People, you know, would buy that kind of stuff. Do you come? I mean, Dusty found the leg, but I think that leg was more of a newer one because it was like made out of titanium, had the titanium joints and stuff. I think this is an old school, you know, cool piece.
Okay.
Do you guys? I mean, what's your opinion on something like that? Would you just leave it?
I don't think I would bring that home.
Really?
I don't know if the wife would appreciate that. I can't bring any plush home because she don't like plush. So it's just that's the way it's gonna be.
Really?
For the right price, I'd be all over that.
I mean, $60.
I don't know if I'd pop for 60 now.
What, when you're selling, you can probably get $250 out of it, up to
$1,000. Well, if I knew that, yeah, I probably would. But I wouldn't have known that offhand. I probably wouldn't have sat there researching it. It's kind of creepy. It's a little creepy.
I love that kind of stuff, guys. Guys, what do you guys think about in the chat? I mean, if you saw that for 60 and you found out you could get 200 or 150 to 500 for it, would you pick it up? And is there anybody that would say, I am absolutely would not bring that into my house, like Ronnie? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. But that's the kind of stuff I would hang that on my wall behind me. That is so cool. I love that stuff.
I would buy it to sell. I wouldn't buy it to keep.
Yeah, I would sell it, but it would be on my shelf until it's sold. Because it's cool.
It is cool in a weird way.
Yeah.
I guess it's just, I had an uncle who had lost both hands, and he had to have those things.
Uh-huh.
So it's just kind of like, I don't know if I'd want to be around those things, you know. I don't know. It's just...
Yeah,
it's nothing wrong with it. I mean, people have to have them, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird. But
yeah.
It's unique, man. It's definitely in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Do you have anything Square that you've picked up over the past couple days?
Oh, I do. Hang on, just a second. Got them yesterday.
Yeah, Ronnie, I had no idea that would totally turn you off.
This is I got this yesterday. This is a.
Oh yeah.
This is a Gillies jacket from the movie Urban Cowboy. You know, the bar Gillies by Mickey Gilley, the country star. He owned this bar, and the singer that worked with him for about 10 years on the road and at his bar was Johnny Lee, and that's on the back. And so I thought this is really awesome. I paid $5 for this, and just in fantastic shape. I thought that was really cool. Really neat, extra large.
Right.
I like it. Yeah, it's kind of neat.
So that's probably 80s, right?
Yeah, it's right around, I think Urban Cowboy was like right around 1980. It was that string of movies where John Travolta was huge. You know, he did Grease, he did Saturday Night Fever, he did Grease, and then he did Urban Cowboy, which were all huge movies. And everyone kind of forgets Urban Cowboy, you know. That was big. That was big in its time. And, you know, I might want to watch that again. But they're doing a remake, according to Deb, so that they're filming in Austin. So, you know, maybe they'll be interested in keeping it real and buying my jacket.
Right on.
But, yeah, I thought that was cool. I got a couple other things, but you go ahead.
Ronnie?
I got my Coleman thingy. I just want to show Square.
Yeah. Let me see that.
Ooh, yeah, that's a stainless steel. Say something, Ronnie, so you come up.
Say what? Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Wow. That is really neat.
Only problem is that thing was in the sun for a little while. That thing collects heat like. Oh, I have my cameras off, or my camera on now?
Yeah, your
Was my
camera's
camera
on.
on before?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
We
okay.
saw it. We saw the item.
Okay. But that thing heats up in the summer like you wouldn't. I mean, that thing gets hot. Fry some eggs on that thing, I think.
So, like, how much are you going to sell that or keep it?
Debated. I don't know if I want to ship that thing.
If you were to sell it, what can you get for that?
There was a few that sold for around 100.
Okay.
The ones that sold for 100 had some logos on it, like Miller Lite. Another one had Jägermeister. So you might be able to get a little bit more for it if it cleans up how it cleans up. Seems like it'll clean up really well. Just it didn't seem to be any leaks or holes in it or anything like that.
Get a hold of Jeff Davidson, man. He'll print you out any logo you want.
If he's not melted by now, Jeff Davidson lives out near me.
Yeah.
It's hot everywhere, I think.
Yeah.
It hit 103 degrees yesterday.
It's not quite that hot here.
Yeah. So Ronnie, like, I always see, well, not always, but occasionally you see the red ones and the blue ones that are vintage like that, and then there's that, like, seafoam green colored one, and so that one you would say is more rare than those.
I didn't see as many of these yet, so probably this is a harder to find one, I would guess.
I've never seen one of those. I've seen all the other ones. But
When I was looking through them, you didn't see the I don't know what it is, steel belted or I don't know what you call this, but I didn't see as anywhere near as many as these as the other ones.
that's cool looking. How much you pay?
$10.
$10.
Yeah, we just started bundling a bunch of things. I got this. I got some Sony thing for $10. That's like 100, and a sealed puzzle for Amazon, and a suitcase, which I thought was something as it wasn't later on. So I had a big freaking suitcase, and we need a suitcase anyway, so we're gonna keep it for ourselves. But it had a Toomey tag on the top of it, like your address thing. So I just assumed that it was a Toomey. Didn't really pay too much attention to it. Then when I got home, it realized it wasn't. But it was only $5. I didn't care. I need a suitcase when we go to the Dominican Republic, so it doesn't bother me.
I got something this morning. Where's Chad?
Feeding the cat, probably.
Oh no. I stopped at a garage sale this morning and got two things for $10. This was one of them. This is a kind of in my wheelhouse. This is a 1-inch rigid pipe die in the box, and I don't know. I'll get like $40 for that. And but so I bundled that with. Clean my hands off real quick. It's kind of greasy. And I got this really cool vintage game called Skill Drive. And what it is, it's kind of neat. Actually, you it's like this magnetic game where you here's all the pieces to it and stuff. But you hook up this steering wheel to it and you steer a little car that's on a magnet all around this little loop and everything. It's kind of neat. I've seen they go for, I don't know, they can go for around $30. And then there's some dude who auctioned his and sold one for $2 in the sold. So thanks, dude. Thanks for bringing the value down. But other ones have sold for around 30-ish. But all the pieces are there. It's kind of neat. I might even keep it just because it looks cool. But anyways, I bundled that with the rigid die for $10. So got both those for $10.
Right on. I got this game the other day. I seen it. Hero.
Oh yeah. Yes.
It's complete. I looked it over. I mean, the box has a little wear on it, but I could. It's one of those things I could easily sell it on eBay and probably get $80, $100. Maybe I could get a little bit more if I really wanted to. Or I can send it into Amazon and hopefully it sells in a few months, probably like 150 to 200 range.
You never know, man. It took me all of 2 months to sell my masterpiece for like 70 on Amazon.
I just sold one the other day too.
What'd you get for yours?
Not 70, 50, I think.
This like mine had never been played. It had been opened, but clearly the money wasn't even crinkled or anything. It was really nice.
I got like 4 that I'm waiting to. They're all ready to go.
You got 4 masterpieces ready to go? Really?
Yeah, a bunch of different games ready to go. They're just sitting in, because I hate sending in more than one. So if I find them for like $1 or $2, I'll check them, see if they're all complete, and then I just put them in a corner, and as I sell one, I'll send the next one in on the next shipment.
Problem is with sending in, like, say you have 4 masterpieces and you want to send them all in anyways, they're going to split them up into 4 different places, and so you're going to have 4 oversized boxes, because it won't fit. Those damn board games won't fit into a medium-sized box, so you have to go for something bigger. I hate that.
Yeah, I try to send a bunch of games in together because they're all go oversized. The Masterpiece game. I got $50 for the Masterpiece game.
That's good though. That's worth picking up for it because you always see them for $1 or $2. Well, not always, but when you do, I mean, they're at a lot of garage sales, man.
Yeah, you actually see the older one more than you see the newer ones.
Yeah, definitely. Like this guy today, these were all games from his actual childhood, like Skill Drive. He had some other ones too, but nothing as cool as that game. But they were actually his. This big old gray bearded guy who looked like he came out of Duck Dynasty. These were his toys. It's pretty trippy when you're buying someone's toys off of them,
Yes.
What do you got to show, Chad?
I didn't go sourcing this weekend. I cleared a bunch of this stuff out, and it took some self-discipline, but I did not do it. I did, however, list like 6 typewriters that I didn't even know I had. Isn't that crazy when you come across stuff? It's like, oh, I didn't remember I had those. But they were big, bulky items, so I wanted to get them listed because if you want to get them out of your house, then you need to have them listed. So I went ahead and listed those first. I've already sold one, and so I've got those listed. Hopefully I can get those moved out. Let's see here. No, I didn't really go sourcing. The only thing that Kim did go sourcing for is she picked up that the USB tape deck, dual tape deck. You can transfer cassettes over instead of, like the record players, the USB record players. You can play it and then transfer it to your computer, MP3. They have cassette
Ion?
ones. Yeah, they have Ion has a cassette one, a dual cassette deck.
How's the quality on that?
Awesome. About as good as a cassette. About as good as cassette. I mean, cassettes are probably the worst quality. Cassettes are worse than 8-tracks, in my opinion, when it comes to actual quality. But, it is what it is. Somebody actually watched the show, bought it on eBay. So
right.
It was a morning show, that I showed it on. Yeah.
Oh, that's why you do those morning shows, to sell things.
I was not intending to do that.
Those Ion record players, for the record, are awful.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're that bad. I have one.
Yeah, dude.
And it worked just fine. You actually heard recordings off of mine.
Yeah.
I think it's just a crappy computer. No, I think it does its job because it's really a basic setup. It's the technology is very simple. and you have, you know, your programs, you can clean the stuff up, but a record itself quality sucks, you know, unless, yeah, when it comes to today's standards.
Yes.
Yes. Are we at final thoughts?
No, we have 9 minutes worth of final thoughts, if that's the case.
Take it away.
You take it away.
This is my final thought. If you're going to be putting yourself out there, which if you post in Facebook groups, you make YouTube videos, you do anything like that is considered putting yourself out there, okay? Expect criticism. It's how you deal with it. There's always going to be people that don't like what you do, that have an issue with maybe something you did or said or something like that. When you're putting yourself out there, expect it. Don't let it get under your skin. Let it roll off your back. And if you can respond in a professional, courteous manner without losing control, I think that's the best route to take. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but a lot of people have a lot of issues with the way I do things. So it's just how you deal with it. And if you stay positive, that's, I think, is really key. If you have to get off of your computer, get off of Facebook to go outside and, you know, to perk up and have, then maybe you need to think about what causes you to get brought down and then deal with that. So, yeah. Oh, we got a question. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Swamp Picker's question was, I found that IBM typewriters that weigh a ton. Do they sell better for parts?
I've got an IBM right now. It's the Selectric 2, and it's valued, if it's running really good, at like $200 to $300. The red one. It's the colors dictate a lot of the prices too. Don't know why, but and models dictate prices. If you know what the problem is with it, you can sell it for parts for some decent money. Like this one has a little bit of issue with the carriage return, which I think is just a spring, and I put that in my listing. And I priced it accordingly with the issues that it had. So I expect to sell for over $100 probably. So they can. You just got to check your make and model of the typewriter and test the typewriters. Don't.
As far as parts go, Chad, like, you know, there are usable typewriters that people collect, and then there are ones that people do, like, you know how you were talking about the steampunk people and stuff?
Oh, sure.
The old, like, say, Remingtons and stuff with those cool old keys that are kind of indented and black, and people actually do take them off and make them into jewelry and stuff like that. So those can be sold for parts, and people do sell them for parts. So there is a parts market, but I don't think like the Gill Monies part out things. I don't think like that kind of parting out, if that's what they're talking about.
Here's just the cool factor, okay? I'll go ahead and show one I listed. I mean, the quality is just literally beautiful. The blue, you know, the royal blue, and this is a royal, and it's the custom 3, and it's got the case and the key, and it's just in excellent condition. I mean, there could be like a, you know, somebody that writes for the New York Times or something, you know, has a nice office that would just love to have something like this just sitting on his shelf, you know, behind his desk or something. And, you know, it doesn't have to be fully. This one happens to work perfectly, but, you know, just the look of them. A lot of people look for that shelf piece. So there's all kinds of, sure.
Yeah. You know who collects typewriters? Tom Hanks.
Wow.
Yeah, you could be selling a typewriter to Tom Hanks.
I can't wait to get. I haven't gotten one yet, but you know the circular one.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many different typewriters out there.
Yeah.
What about electrics? What kind of value do you see in electrics?
It's all across the board. It is all across the board. Some of them are $300-400. Some of them aren't worth listing. I don't worry about shipping, the weight of them. A lot of people steer away because of the weight. I don't. It all go FedEx.
It all goes FedEx Smart Post, or
No. Typically, FedEx, the home delivery or business delivery is cheaper than the Smart Post.
for heavy items.
Yeah, for the stuff I've done, I rarely do I pay for Smart Post. It's normally more expensive, and in a lot of these cases, also the actual typewriter itself locks into the case. So you pick it up, it's not going to get all beat around and stuff like that.
I did have a problem shipping one of those once where the little knobby thing on the side got smashed because it was
You gotta lock the carriage, and there's YouTube videos you can watch on how to ship a typewriter professionally.
Yeah, well, on these, the actual lid that comes down on it locks the carriage to where it can't move either way because it has to be like centered perfectly to put the lid down on it, and so that's really good. All these that I have actually have cases, so.
And people like you to put something in so the keys stay where they are and stuff. Like there's all kind of little tiny nuances to shipping a typewriter that a collector will want you to do.
Sure.
I've had really particular ones in the past. So much so that I hate shipping typewriters.
Yeah.
But they make good money. You're right.
And typically, if I don't have, if it has ribbon, I'll typically type out a phrase or something. I'll put my eBay name on there and like buy me if it has like two different colors, like red and black, showing that it does work. And typically, I will say that the ribbon will eventually need replaced, or the ribbon is brittle and it needs replaced. So. Do you ship vintage electronics through global shipping? Absolutely. That's the only way I'm going to ship electronics. Yes. Because if anything happens, then it's covered. And I have been covered by it before. And I used to hate global shipping. But I love it now.
Sure.
Do you have to prove that it was once working?
No.
So you could feasibly sell a broken item global shipping and they'll pay you for it.
I don't know. It would almost have to show damage, I would say.
But you see what I'm getting at.
Sure, and I don't think that. See, that would just piss me off for people to even think that that's okay to do. You know what I'm saying? I know. But ultimately,
$1 auctions, $99 shipping.
Yeah.
People will find a way around.
Yep.
Time's up, boys.
Final words, Ronnie?
I don't know. Just stay positive. I mean, if you don't like what somebody's talking about, or you don't, just move on. Unfriend that person. Unsubscribe from that person. Just move on. I mean, there's a lot of people I don't subscribe to just because there's no reason to deal with them. Either they give bad advice, or they just rub me the wrong way. Some people. I mean, and it's not like I'm sitting here watching videos or listening to people every day on Facebook on, business and personal life. Other than that, happy this went well today.
Where?
Yeah, like Ronnie said, bottom line, whether you're in this to make money or you're in this to make a little bit of money as a hobby or whatever your reasons, keep your eye on the focus of making money, and staying positive is one of the ways of making money. Keep your head above water and keep listing, keep selling, and anything that gets in the way of that, if it's a deterrent, then work it out of the system, because it's not helping you.
And I agree. And I challenge everybody to do something or say something nice to somebody every day. I want to see some positive posts in the Facebook groups. I do. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to see somebody else feel good. And be nice to people, you know. And you'd be surprised how it can lift you up. So I should do it.
Cool. Nice
Rock,
positive.
you have the controls, brother. Thanks.
Good luck, everybody. Sell some stuff this week.
Bye. See you later.
Don't milk Jeff Davidson.